Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something really cool, a tool that's basically a magician for text. It takes all that messy, chaotic, unstructured information and transforms it into something perfectly organized and actually useful.
So, let me start with a question for you. What could a medical report, a legal contract, and a classic novel possibly have in common? I mean, on the surface, they seem like they're from completely different worlds, right? But they all share one fundamental and honestly really frustrating challenge.
Yep, that's a thing. They are just giant walls of unstructured text. We're talking about vast oceans of words with no clear format for a computer to read. It's just text. And trying to find one specific detail in all that, it feels like searching for a needle in a haystack.
And we've all been there, haven't we? You're squinting at the screen, highlighting things, copying and pasting into some spreadsheet, and then desperately trying to remember where you found what. It's slow, it's tedious, and it's just a recipe for headaches.
But what if you didn't have to do that? What if you had a kind of digital detective that could just do all that heavy lifting for you? Imagine something that could read any document, understand exactly what you're looking for, and pull it all out, perfectly organized. Well, that's where we get to the solution.
So let's meet our digital detective. It's called LangExtract. At its core, it's a Python library that uses the power of large language models. You know, the super smart AI like Google's Gemini, to automatically read any text and pull out structured data based on your instructions.
So, a really good way to think about it is like having a super-powered research assistant. And here's the crucial part. It's not just finding keywords, it's actually understanding the context and the relationships in the text and then organizing it all in a way that's immediately useful to you.
Now, you might be hearing all this and thinking, okay, this sounds incredibly complicated. But the real beauty of LangExtract is just how simple it is. Let's break down how the magic actually happens. It's just 3 straightforward steps. And that's literally it. The entire workflow, from start to finish, is just these 3 things. You define what you want, you run the process, and then you visualize what it found. You tell it what to do, you press go, and you get an amazing interactive report back. It's incredibly direct and really powerful.
Okay, so step 1. Define your task. This is where you just tell the tool what you're looking for in plain, simple English. For example, if you have a scene from Romeo and Juliet, you just write a prompt like, extract characters, emotions, and relationships. That's it. No complicated code, just instructions.
Then you move on to step 2, run the extraction. And believe it or not, it's pretty much just a single line of code. You feed your text and your simple prompt into the LangExtract engine. It then handles all the complex stuff behind the scenes, using a model like Gemini to read the document and pull out the clean, structured results you asked for.
And this brings us to step 3, which is honestly the coolest part. Visualize the results. See, when it's done, you don't just get a boring data file. LangExtract creates this awesome interactive HTML report so you can explore everything visually.
This report is a total game changer. It shows you the data it pulled out, like the character Romeo. But, and this is the huge part, it also highlights the exact words in the original text where it found that piece of information. This gives you perfect traceability, which means you can actually trust every single result.
So we know it's simple to use, but what really sets it apart from other things out there? Well, let's dive into what I like to call its unique superpowers, the things that make it so effective.
These are the big ones. First, precise source grounding, which we just talked about. It always links back to the source. Reliable structured outputs means you always get clean, predictable data. It's also built to handle huge documents. It's flexible enough to work with all sorts of models like Gemini or even ones on your own machine, and you can adapt it to any subject you can imagine.
This quote from the documentation really just nails it. That ability to map every single thing it finds back to its exact location, that's not just a nice little feature. It's the core of why this works so well. It lets you instantly verify everything, which builds a ton of trust in the results.
So let's just put it side by side for a second. The old way is that messy, error-prone manual work. The LangExtract way is automated, structured, and totally reliable. It transforms a tedious chore into a powerful and insightful process. It's a whole different world.
So far, we've been using a literary example, but the applications for this tool are incredibly broad. Let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture to see how this can solve some serious real-world problems.
First off, this thing is built to scale.
We're not talking about just analyzing little snippets of text. It can process the entire 147,000 characters of Romeo and Juliet straight from a URL, all in one shot. It's designed to handle massive documents without breaking a sweat.
And this is where things get really impactful. You can take the same tool and apply it to healthcare. Imagine sifting through pages of clinical notes to instantly extract critical information like medication names, dosages, and routes. The potential here is just enormous.
And to show you an even more advanced example, there's a live demo called LangExtract that uses this to structure complex radiology reports. This just proves how capable it is in these highly specialized technical fields. You can even go and try it out for yourself.
So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, LangExtract is an incredibly versatile and powerful framework. It doesn't matter if your text is a 16th century play or a 21st century medical report. It gives you the tools to turn all that raw, messy text into knowledge you can actually use.
And that leaves us with one final thought. If you had a tool this powerful, a tool that could unlock the information hidden inside any text, what's the first big problem you would want to solve with it? It's definitely something to think about.